keeping you in touch with Darwin. Darwin TV, Channel 41, News.
Each year in the NT, approximately 500 people are seriously injured in road crashes. Nationally, that figure stretches to 40,000. For many survivors, the consequences can be severe and lifelong. A new documentary examines the personal side to the injuries, stress, and trauma of road crash survivors. After Impact, Road Crash Survivors is a moving documentary developed by the National Critical Care and Trauma Response Centre's PARTY program. The NT Government's DIPL Road Safety Team, recording artists and athletes against drink driving, and the Motor Accident Compensation Commission.
I just remember thinking, like, why can't they fix me? Why can't I move? Like, looking at myself and trying to make myself move and nothing happening.
The recent advance preview screening of the documentary was an opportunity to hear from survivors and supporters.
Statistics show that around 1,200 people die on Australian roads each year. But a car crash is not just a matter of whether you live or die. It's also a matter of what life might look like if you survive, with potentially serious lifelong injuries.
On the 11th of October 2013, I was on the way home from work.
I was in a car crash that changed my life.
I essentially broke my entire body in this car crash. I broke multiple vertebrae in my spine. I fractured my right hip and tailbone, and I had brain bleeds and shearing of the brain, leaving me with a severe traumatic brain injury.
Got unlucky on the way home and had an accident. Ended up paralysed below the shoulders now.
And I'll never forget walking into the room where they led me to see Will on a bed, just about to have an MRI. And his face was covered in blood. And just the whites of his eyes were looking at me. He said, "I'm sorry, Mum."
From the moment that I had my car accident to pretty much where I am now to get back to full-time work again, it's taken almost 3 years to get to this point.
I live in constant pain. The moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, it feels like my left hand's kind of getting electrocuted or on fire with the nerve pain. It's just how it is every morning, every night, and every minute in between.
Unfortunately, road trauma is most prevalent in our youth. Our program has a focus on providing teenagers with the opportunity to follow the journey of a trauma patient, learning through vivid and emotional experience. The program exposes young people to the tragic consequences of risk-taking behaviour, and we feel passionate about our messaging around risk, choice and consequences. We know one choice can change your life forever.
We make choices every day. We make good choices and we make bad choices.
The road safety team also do their best to reach Aboriginal school kids with strong messaging on simple but extremely important things like wearing a seatbelt.
When it comes to our rehabilitation activities, getting them to just wear like a spinal collar on their neck for 40 minutes and having one arm restrained that they can't use throughout that session, and just try to do, what we think is simple, activities of daily living. Some people have to do this for, weeks to months, or for the rest of their life they're limited.
It's very hard, but everybody who's just watched that and seen, I guess, what each of these people put on the line in telling their stories, I saw the pain, I saw how difficult it was. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Many of us never think about the consequences of surviving a road crash. After Impact is an important documentary that not only speaks of pain and trauma, but shines a light on courage and hope.
I think it was about 2 months after my injury. I was having a bit of a down day, and I remember Dad asking what was wrong.
The thing he really wanted to do was give us a hug. And it's a simple thing that you just take for granted.
So I got my left arm up over my dad's shoulder, and then he held my right arm and lifted it up and put it over his back in a hug.
I walked in after John had been hugged and he said, "Mum, I've got a surprise." And he struggled and he got both arms around me. And it's just heartwarming. Just never forget.